All right. So we're going to go ahead. It looks like our microphones are on. So, Shaviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shaviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shavaya Havaya Havaya Ahava 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 Havaya 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 Ahava 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 Shaviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shaviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Havaya, 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 Ahava, 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 Havaya, 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 Ahava, 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 Shaviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid. Shaviti Havaya Lenegdi Tamid.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Lily Brent. This is Adina Langer. And Adina and I have been friends since we went to the same nursery school in New Jersey, starting at the age of 2.5. We went to Hebrew school together. We were bat mitzvah together. We sang in the same choir, attended the same college, moved to New York City at the same time, and now we're here. And we actually didn't coordinate almost any of those decisions, but often end up in the same place anyway. And when I moved to Atlanta 8 years ago for a new job, Adina and her family and Amy Price, for those of you who know Amy, were the only two people I knew. And so no wonder I have landed here at CBH with you all. And Adina and I have been singing together for, I think, at least 30 to 35 years, often in Jewish spaces. And so it was just such a delight when she asked me if I would co-lead services with her tonight. So that's who we are, and we're looking forward to welcoming Shabbat and singing with you all.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here tonight, and we're delighted to be together, all of us together. So you want to set the stage?
Sure, and I should say we're also very happy to be joined by Adina's mother and daughter, and happy not to be joined by my 4-year-old who's at home. So I understand that you often bring in the Shabbat spirit and start the service with a kavanah, with an intention. And so I want to talk about Musar. Some of you may know Musar is a Jewish ethical discipline that is focused on helping us refine our behavior through the contemplation of ideal characteristics called midot. And there's a book called the Musar Torah Commentary that has an essay that matches each of these characteristics with the weekly Torah portion. So for this week, the parsha is Kitavo, and the midah is gratitude. And in her essay for Kitavo, Rabbi Andrea London writes that gratitude is something that has to be constantly renewed. And so later in the service, when we discuss this week's Torah portion, we'll talk about cyclical themes in the body, in nature, in history, and in our own aspirations. We'll consider what can be achieved or attained versus what has to be constantly renewed and rededicated and recommitted to. And in light of the week we've all lived through, I'm thinking about how peace is not a destination. It's not really a place that we can arrive at with any finality, but something that has to be constantly renewed, much like gratitude. So I'd like to ask you to just take a silent moment or two to contemplate something you're grateful for this week, and also to think a little bit about, well, what made that possible? What role did your body, the people around you, and the rhythms of nature play in allowing whatever you're grateful for to be possible?
So we're going to begin with the Shabbat candlelighting. And would anybody like to volunteer to light our candle this morning? Evening. It's Shabbat. Sorry. Do you want to do it, Mom? Okay. So you can turn to page 5 in the Siddur for the candlelighting blessings. I don't think so. Yeah. Page 5. Helen, you want to go up and help? Shabbat. Amen. We'll join together now on page 12 for Shalom Aleichem, page 12, page 13. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlakim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Borchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitam leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Please turn now to page 18 to 19 for Dodi Li. Dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim. Mizot olam min hamidbar, mizot olam mekuteret moru levona, moru levona. Dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim. Libatini achoti kala, achoti kala. Libatini achoti kala, achoti kala. Dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim. Uri Zafon uvoit teman. Uri Zafon uvoit teman. Dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haroeh b'shoshanim. We will move now to page 41 for Lecha Dodi. And if someone can remind me, our tradition is to stand on the last verse, is that correct? Okay, great. And we do verses 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9. So you can think of that as the first, basically, paragraph of each of the next 5 pages, starting with page 41. 1, 2. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'lihitila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu benecha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem sof ma'aseh ben-machshavatila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yadadai, 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 b'nei Shabbat
Nekabela. Prakala. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. Shabbat. Nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orek umiori, uri, uri, shirdaveri, levod Adonai, alai, iglai, lechadodili, krakala, Shabbat, Nekabela, Lekatili, Kakala, Yadadai, 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 Shabbat, Nekabela, Yaminu smol, Tirotzi, Ve'ed Adonai ta'aritzi al yadish b'martzi v'nes v'kacha v'nakilai lechadodi likrakala yadadai 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 Shabbat nekabela Shabbat nekabela Ovi v'shalom teret balam Lamed v'tzimcha v'zlochola Tot emunei am segula Chadotili krakala yadadai 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 Shabbat nekabela Chadotili krakala yadadai 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 Shabbat nekabela. El Chai v'kayam tamid yimlok aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch ata Adonai hamari v'aravim. Amen. Page 59. And we will move into Ahavat Olam.
Oh,
Did we skip something?
yeah, I think we're page 49, Tov Lahodot.
Where did I miss it? Oh, there's a back side. I just jumped way ahead. All right, never mind. Okay, so we're now on Psalm 92 on page 49. I'm going backward. Yep. Tov lechodot ladonai Uzamer leshimcha elyon Lagid baboker chastecha ve'emunatecha balelot Yadai dadadai yadadai yadadai Ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya 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 da Tov lechodot l'Adonai Usamer b'shimcha elyon Lagid baboker chastecha ve'emunatecha Balelot.
Okay, and then we will do Chatzi Kaddish on page 55. Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabba Yamad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomecho v'chayedecho beit Yisrael Bagala bagala uvizman kariv ve'imeru amen Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'alam me'omaya yitbarach yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'pa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh ve'yitadar ve'yitaleh ve'yitala shmei kudesha Le'ela le'ela mincho birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata tamiram b'yama ve'imeru amen.
Please rise on page 57 for Baruch Hu.
Oh.
Yeah, not 97. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. I'm just trying to make sure I'm in the right spot. Yeah, so Asher Bidvaro is a section of the beginning of the evening service where we try to focus our energy on feeling close to nature. And sometimes that comes easily, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's easy to go through your day feeling all too human. You're angry at the traffic. You're noticing all of the smells coming off of motors and, everything that we have as a species added to this world, and whatever that has created. So I found myself drawn to this poem by Mary Oliver that gets at that sense of frustration that can actually sometimes be there when you try to feel what it feels like to be close to nature. So it's called Whispers. Have you ever tried to slide into the heaven of sensation and met you know not what resistance, but it held you back? Have you ever turned on your shoulder helplessly facing the white moon, crying, "Let me in"? Have you ever dared to count the months as they pass and the years while you imagined pleasure shining like honey locked in some secret tree? Have you dared to feel the isolation gathering intolerably and recognize what kinds of explosions can follow from an intolerable condition? Have you walked out in the mornings, wherever you are in the world, to consider all those gleaming and reasonless lives that flow outward and outward easily to the last, moment the bulbs of their lungs, their bones, and their appetites can carry them. Oh, have you looked wistfully into the flushed bodies of the flowers? Have you stood staring out over the swamps, the swirling rivers where the birds, like tossing fires, flash through the trees, their bodies exchanging a certain happiness in the sleek, amazing humdrum of nature's design, blood's heaven, spirit's haven, to which you cannot belong? One of the things that I love about Shabbat practice is giving up a little bit of that thing that makes us separate, in that very process of separating the sacred from the mundane. So it's sort of like our mundane is the world that belongs so very much to humans. Mm-hmm. And when you step through that door into Shabbat and Ma'ariv, it's like you're actually joining with all of this stuff that doesn't care so much all the time. It just is, the reasonless lives. And so I can appreciate that feeling, I think, especially this week. Mm. So in that spirit, please join me for Ahavat Olam on page 63. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu B'shokveinu u'vekumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem hayenu ve'orach yameinu ve'orach yameinu u'vahem negeh yomam ve'layla V'avtecha lo tasor mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. Please turn to page 79 for Micha Mocha. Mi chamocha be'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nohora tehilot osef elhem. Malchutecha ra'u banecha ke'ayam livnei Moshem. Yisrael. So we turn to page 81 for Hashkivenu, and we're going to do a chant round, which if you don't know, listen a couple times and you'll get it. Remember how to start it?
Yeah, do you want me to start?
Yeah. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Come together now for Vishamru on page 85. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. Beni oven b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. U'vayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. We invite you now to rise on page 91 for the silent Amidah, and here you have the opportunity to follow along in the prayer book or to say whatever is in your heart, feel whatever you want to feel, and eventually we will come back together on page 107 for Oseh Shalom. Which one are you doing?
Oh, you start.
Okay. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imeru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen. Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. It's so lovely to look around and see all your beautiful faces. This week's Torah portion, Kitavo, includes a lot of familiar material related to the conditions under which the Israelites are invited to enjoy the blessings of the Promised Land. Namely, they are instructed that they will enjoy its abundance only if they follow God's commandments. However, rather than focus on this familiar biblical quid pro quo, I am interested in stepping back a level and thinking more about the idea of the Promised Land as a destination. For 40 years, enough time to turn over a generation, the Israelites have been journeying through the wilderness with their portable Mishkan. They meet in a tent and dig temporary wells. Now they have arrived. Ritual life turns to mark this arrival. They are instructed to find smooth stones and build a kind of monument to signify their entry into the land. This is the long-awaited moment. This idea of the Promised Land is central to Jewish identity, and yet the finality of arrival is wholly strange. The Israelites are a people of motion. Lech lecha. We are forever departing. The motion of our lives is echoed in our annual calendar and in the daily rituals that remind us of the motion of our breath, of the setting and rising of the sun, of the cycles of the moon, and the arrivals and departures of our loved ones, who sojourn for a time upon the earth, but continue their journeys in our memories. Why, then, this longing for a final destination? Why do we seek a happily ever after, even as we know that we are only truly alive when we are in motion? The land itself is constantly changing, and so are we. Taken even more literally, the long cycle of Jewish history is one of arrival and displacement, one of carrying identity forward through changing times and places. If we return then to the idea of the stones to mark our arrival, I find it helpful to consider them both as a memorial to entry, but also as a kind of wanderer's cairn. Even stones which symbolize permanence eventually break down and become earth again. So I'd like to invite you now to take the stone you gathered, if you gathered a stone at the start of the service, and there might be a couple left over there if you didn't, and place them on the table in the center of the room. And as you do so, think about these questions. Where do you want to stop or rest? What do you want to attain, and how permanent or temporary does it feel? Where does our culture promise us permanence, and where is that unattainable? How do we live with the desire for permanence amidst the reality of transience? Where does it benefit us to be in motion, to be able to change and evolve, to accept growth over stagnation? And how do we do this even as we age, as the growth and change brings us closer to the end of our individual stories? So I'll let you take a moment to meditate on these ideas as our little cairn grows in the middle of the room. And you can move things around if you're so inspired.
And if you didn't get a stone and you want to participate by touching them, moving them, stacking them, feel free to interact with them.
Yeah. There's always going to be a few Jenga moments, in the... All right. Yeah, so as you've had a chance to think about these ideas, I'd love to now invite you to join us as we sing a song about the way that we can build something lasting even amidst all of this change. And the song, for those who know it, is Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Which I'm going to find. There, yeah. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, dadai, yadadai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, dadai, dadai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, dadai, dadai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, dadai, dadai. I will build this world from love. And you must build this world from love. this world from love. Then God will build this world from love. We turn now to those in our community who are in need of healing, and that we want to share a little bit of that love, outward. And we'll sing the Misha Berach, the Will Robertson tune, and after we do our first round through, we'll invite you to stand and say the names of people you want to share outward, and then to that I'll add our community list, and then we'll come back together. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaChacham Vehi Motenu Uyevarech Ve'irafeh Et HaCholim Et HaCholim En Arefana 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 And to this we add Scott Epstein, Victoria Isbister, John Isbister, Anna Levy Sprick, Don Perling, Nancy Rosebloom, Rabbi Zev Chaim Feyer, Rich Tel Johan, Randy Foster, Ava Kotlier, Susan Birch, Sarah Kaldak, Richard and Mildred Anzalone, Rachel Hahn, Margie Asheroff, Jean Kablak, Sherry Ola Fern, Joe Chansey, Susan Sugar, Robin Cox, Gertrude Braunstein, Dina Batchaya Vimosha, Ellis Cohen, Julia Quintana, Margaret Moore, Shanna Shauna Jackson, Michelle Jenny. Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Ve'imotenu Uyevarech Ve'irafeh Et HaCholim Et HaCholim Would someone from our wonderful community love to come up and lead the prayer for the end of hiding? Volunteer? Yeah, thank you. And for those of you who don't know, it's on the purple sheet inside your siddur.
I always like to just start this out before I read the prayer. I'll give you the short version. The kind of the kavanah of this prayer to me is when it talks about praying for the sanctity of the lives of other people. Those aren't the exact words. But to me, the most important part of this prayer, the most pressing need of this prayer, especially now, is to pray for people who aren't exactly like us. And I think that's a big part of when this prayer was written, and even more now, more than ever, it is so relevant. It's in the back of your prayer book, if everybody has it. As LGBTQ Jews, we are aware of the loss of integrity we suffer due to the pressures of the larger society. We often feel forced into a dishonest presentation of ourselves to ourselves and others. The LGBTQ individuals who feel they must pretend to be something that they are not. The Jews who feel they must be alienated from their tradition and community to win larger acceptance. Both are victims of the theft of identity and integrity committed by the sexual, gender-identifying, or religious majority. Creator of the universe, we ask that our hiding draw to an end, that we no longer feel we have to pretend, to promise falsely, to renounce ourselves and our fullest creative expression as Jews and as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people be among the blessings you bestow upon us. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. All right, please join us now for Aleinu, which is on page 121. Please rise.
Please rise, yeah.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עתנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נתן בתוכנו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Do that part? We can do that. שכונות השמיים ביסוד הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינת זו מגוון מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד.
ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Page 131 is Mourner's Kaddish, and we invite those who are observing a yard site, who are in mourning, please feel free to share their names with everyone and rise. And our tradition is usually that the leader and those individuals say the first, I think it's the first 4 lines together, and then everyone else rises to join them to be there in solidarity and remembrance of all people everywhere who don't have someone explicitly mourning them today. So, page 131, if you'd like to speak the name of your loved one. Should I bring the microphone around? Does that matter? Okay. All right.
יתגדל ויקדש שמי רבה, ועמד דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ומעלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומן ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקדושה ברכו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל בית ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן.
So if someone is here representing the board, we have some announcements. But if nobody is, then we'll read them out loud. Sure, yay, thank you.
Oh, wait, yeah, you are.
Yeah, we board member.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Congregation Beit Havarim, both to those of you here in person today and those of you joining us by Zoom. My name is Liza, and I am a representative at large on the board. Our deep gratitude for tonight's service. Thank you to service leaders Adina Langer and Lily Brent. Staff member and Zoom host Emily Anzalone. Did I say it right? Okay. Police officer Joel Marshall. Our greeters Ben Postel and friend. Where's the friend? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that I don't have your name on here. And our ONEG sponsor, your membership at CBH. I am so grateful for all the CBH members here tonight. Raise your hands if you're a member. Feel free to ask them about CBH. A few quick announcements. Kids, come sing in our pop-up Rosh Hashanah chorus. Our next practice is this Sunday, September 14th at noon at CBHCS. On Sunday, September 13th at 8 p.m., join us at Or Hadash for a Slichot Song Circle and Havdalah, a beautiful start to the high holidays. And a high holiday orientation with Rebecca Goldsmith is Sunday, September 21st at 9:30 a.m., a great way to get ready for the season. You can find our full High Holiday schedule on the CBH website. Just click High Holiday Central at the top of the webpage, and it will take you to everything you need to know. Thank you for coming tonight, and Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, thank you. So we are going to...
On the 13th, really quick, sorry.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow, not Sunday. Oh, Saturday, September 13th at 8 p.m. Or Chadash, Slichot, Song
Okay.
Circle, and Havdalah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Saturday. Okay.
Saturday, yep. Thank you. So returning to that idea that Lily brought up right at the beginning of peace, I was thinking about turning to Shuva, everything comes full circle. We're going to end with a Lo Yisagoy, paired with Lay Down Your Sword and Shield, for those of you who know that, and we'll join together. Lo Yisagoy El Goy Charav, Lo Yimadu Od Milchama, Lo Yisagoy El Goy Charav, Lo Yimadu Od Milchama, Lo Yisagoy El Goy Charav, Lo Yimadu Od Milchama, Lo Yisagoy El Goy Charav, Lo Yimadu Od Milchama, Lo Yisagoy El Goy Charav, Lo Yimadu Od Milchama, Lo Yisagoy El Goy Charav, Lo Yimadu Od Milchama. Gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside. You're gonna learn war no more, ain't gonna study 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 war no more, gonna study war no more. Lo Yisagoy El Goy Charav, Lo Yimadu Od Milchama, Lo Yisagoy El Goy Charav, Lo Yimadu Od Milchama, Lo Yisagoy El Goy Charav, Lo Yimadu Od Milchama, Lo Yisagoy El Goy Charav, Lo Yimadu Od Milchama. All right, so anybody want to volunteer to lead the Kiddush? Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
Do we want to volunteer for Motzi as well?
Yay, thank you.
Thank you.